Hello, Conquerors! Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, the Purple Bull Moose, and here we cover everything Old World. So please, if you want to support the channel, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what else you want to see from Old World. Oh, well, welcome back, everybody. It has been far too long. I apologize for the hiatus, but frankly, it's been all good news. I have recently received a promotion over at my big boy job, and because of that, it has been very all-consuming of my time. So, I apologize for not getting over to putting together a little bit more of the content that we were looking into earlier on in the year, but I'm back in the chair. And I plan on pumping out a whole bunch more content, and for the uninitiated, there is no better time to get involved in Old World than right now. I'm going to try to get this new video out as soon as possible, so as of today, the 27th, we have officially had the announcement of the community event of the Old World Community Duelist Tournament. If you haven't already heard, check it out across the various channels. Obviously, right inside of the game announcements, going to have plenty of links for you to go and check out, but it's a whole bunch of people. Everybody, I think, from the content creator Brawl is going to be in here for the new game set. A bracket's being put out. It's double elimination. Come in, throw your hat in the ring. And, who knows? Maybe we get a chance to play mano-a-mano. But I'm really looking forward to it. I have been testing out a couple of different strategies. I'll keep my cards close to the vest in the time being, but hopefully we get a chance to showcase some stuff and I stick around long enough in the tournament to actually make an impact. But, guys, it has been so long since the last time that we've hopped in that a lot of the game has changed. I mean, they've added some new map types, which is very nice, but the Clerics family got an overhaul. They did a huge change to the hero leader type, all of which is very interesting. But, we'll get a chance to get into that here in the new game. Let's get into it. Well, who to play? Well, we've already played a Babylon game, so check that out on the channel. Same with Assyria, and both multiplayer and single. Oxum as well to showcase the new DLC, and Rome has gotten a bit of an appearance over in the multiplayer Brawl. So, working our way down the list, it does seem right to go to Carthage next. I will be coming out with some Egypt content, or rather, Jams will be coming out with some Egypt content. If you aren't familiar with Jams, check out his channel, link over in my bio. But we are doing a tutor session. We are getting a coaching session going on where I'm walking him through some of the tidbits that I do when I'm playing the game, and mostly just a chance to hang out with Jams. He's a really cool guy. Check out his channel. He makes amazing content, and he was nice enough to invite me on over as a guest. I am unsure because he's got a bit of a pipeline already built up with content coming out. So if you're looking for someone more consistent than I am right now, I would tune in to check out what he's putting out there. Additionally, that does leave us here with Carthage. Carthage has a lot of cool things going for it. It's not a nation that I often play, and the reason for that is kind of twofold. One, they have a very unique play style in what they are able to do within hiring mercenaries. It is a unique strategy onto Carthage and I guess the order leader type, but what you can essentially do is for some, ka-ching, you can buy the loyalty of existing non-raiding tribes from around the area. The more they like you, the less they cost, and, they can be very potent in the early game. They drop off more and more. They're unable to get the generalized promotions that you would be able to see through normal disciplined troops. But they are also very capable of getting a very high boost in the early game. The reason for that being is that you can, without any tech, upgrade them using your training to get all the way up to, I think, a 6 strength unit can be very, very powerful. So something that we will be looking into. Additionally, they get a whole bunch of resources just for having their cities. An extra 10 gold per turn for all connected cities, so roads become ever more important here in Carthage, or just having coastal cities, you get an extra boost from that. Definitely something to keep in mind. And on every new city founding, you get 200 civics. Civics is often a bottleneck in many of my games. I do like charisma on my leaders, but it is not always the case where I will end up getting a whole bunch of civics in my gameplay. If you want to see high civics gameplay, typically I think it's scientific that leans towards that. So check out his channel as well. but this will certainly make up for my personal deficits. In the meantime, what they also start with is trapping. So we're going to get a slinger to start. Divination, so they are great for a Zoro rush. And aristocracy. Gives you that early ambassador, allows you to make those nicer relationships with tribes by having a very high training ambassador. So if you can get your hands on a nice commander, it certainly wouldn't hurt. They're unique buildings. They have their series of shrines. That's going to give you access to, well, the abundance shrine, or this is just the cash shrine? Yeah, water tiles, the water shrine. Huge ability to get a whole bunch of cash. And seeing how you can spend cash to get mercenaries, it is a very useful tool. Next, we have the Growth Shrine, always nice for additional pasture adjacency. We have the Healer Shrine, not super useful on Carthage as they're not a big military civ, or at least not the way that I play them. So Healer is just okay. It's kind of a nothing burger if you ask me, but neither here nor there. And then the Shrine of Tanit. We get access to additional culture. And yes, additional gold. This is the Abundance Shrine. Gives you 4 culture in total, if you count the 2 culture you're getting from the paganism as a base. And then per adjacent resource gives you an extra 10 gold. So we got gold here, we got gold here, we got gold here, and plenty of a place to spend it. So certainly a very cool play style, and definitely something we're going to be looking into. Now the question becomes, who do we take from the leaders? First off, we got Dido herself, the original. She is a diplomat archetype, which is always nice because they're able to get their alliances. Tribal alliance and national alliances are amazing. National alliance is just very good for keeping yourself safe, especially in the early game. If you can grab one person adjacent to you and lock them down, then you are kind of good to go. Tribal alliance, however, have a very different idea in my mind, and we'll cover this inside the game. But the gist of it is, when you have an alliance with a tribe, one, they don't raid anybody. Not just not you. They don't raid at all. They will amass their forces, and you, if you choose to, can move them as you would like. It's very fun. If somebody is at war with them, you can move them in mass, like their own tribal invasion, if you have a glut of orders. It is very order intensive. It's not necessarily super powerful, but there's definitely niche cases in there. But additionally, especially for Carthage, with all the amount of gold they have access to, you are actually able to buy away city sites from the tribes that you're allied with. It's very unique. It's very heavy cost. But instead of having to go to war, just being able to go in, grab a new site for a little bit of dough, it's not bad. Certainly very interesting. But if we were going to go for that, it would be much more interesting to go with Hanno because he's just a more interesting leader. One, he's also a diplomat. He has a tribal alliance, I think, for free. I'm sure it has some cost, but I don't know it off the top of my head. And he gets an extra free explorer, which is very cool. He is very fun. Certainly somebody that we're looking into. If you really want to take advantage of hiring the mercenaries and training them up, there's no one better than Hannibal. One, because he's, the grace of Baal. He gets 1 free action, which means a double attack on your early game slingers, so you can just go around crushing. But if you do hire away some mercenaries, his base courage will boost your training, which will give you more resources to upgrade those units. So you can actually get your hands on a pretty disgusting early game unit and really do some damage with a double hit. It's pretty powerful. It's pretty broken, but definitely worth it. Lastly, in my opinion, my least enjoyable one is the Prosperous Order. It's just a weird situation to have an order as Carthage because you're already able to hire mercenaries. It's like, unless you want to extra hire mercenaries, it's kind of a double down on it. It gives you, it doesn't use the same resource orders buy with legitimacy, where Carthage buys with gold. So it gives you an opportunity to do both. But, I don't know. Not super in love with it. The Wealthy Statesman is interesting, gives you a whole bunch of gold, +2 discipline. Prosperous is always good. And as a leader, Hanno gets land grants, which you can give out to improve each family's opinion. Which, as an order, if you have friendly families, it'll give you 1 order per turn with a city with a friendly family. So, again, kind of useful, I guess. Friendly's pretty high, and, especially on the great level difficulty, I don't know. I don't love it. So, yeah, we're going to pass on Hanno the second, but Hanno the first. Yeah, Hano the First is very interesting. This guy's pretty straightforward. He's very fun. But I think in this case, we're going to try Hano. Yeah, let's go with it. Lock it in. For our opening, we're going to do everything that we typically classically do. The Great, Fragile, all the normals. For opponents, make sure that we got everything set. I have been making some changes to my gameplay, specifically because we are taking on as much practice as we can for the multiplayer games that are be coming up. So, for instance, I want to turn Ancient Ruins back on. They're really fun fun aspect of the single player game, but it reduces the overall RNG aspect. So that is currently being turned off for our multiplayer games. We certainly want to keep that on. And for the map, let's see, what have we done? I feel like we've done Bay. I feel like we've done Arid Plateau, Coastal, Rain Basin. Might be worth it, but let's go for a continent start. Yeah, that sounds good. Continent gives us avenues to go both coastal as well as still have neighbors. So that kind of leans into everything Carthage wants to do. If you want to have an easy breezy game on Carthage, I highly recommend Archipelago. You can kind of take the aspects that we are going to be showcasing here in this gameplay and instead apply them to have a very easy way to take over your entire continent that if you aren't sharing your landmass with another nation, you can just kind of take over the entire thing uncontested. But we're going to go with continent because part of the content that I like to put together is showing what happens when shit hits the fan. So we will be taking that on. Competitive mode. Yes, we're going to turning off competitive mode because it's going to be taking out some of the major events in the game. So we definitely want to make sure that this is turned off for our single player games. Let's turn off balanced starting resources. We don't necessarily need that. It's great because it gives you access to food and typically iron or horses early game, but we don't need that. I'd rather have a little bit more variety. We'll turn on double victory. All right, the rest of it looks good. Let's hop into it. Carthage in the Old World. You are King Hano the Founder, a leader from the most distinguished family. Your thirst for exploration is endless. It is your innermost ambition to discover all that there is beyond your borders. If you commission scouts to send far and wide, you know you will discover new sources of riches and new allies, perhaps even new enemies that you will have to deal with, but you are prepared for that as well. Gather your people and get ready to discover the entirety of the Old World. Okay, interesting start. Got some good stuff to begin with. We have ore, we have marble, we have some culture here. Unfortunately, we don't have access to a hunter's seat. Furs are always very good for hunters. But we got plenty of food down here, so a nice, very balanced start. I think I'm leaning towards statesmen here. Statesmen are always really good, especially in a capital, because a capital is typically to get your culture up first. Statesmen are able to have access to the decree mission. The access to decree that you get increases at each stage of culture. So when you get to legendary culture, if you complete this mission, it is 12 orders in a turn, which can be massive for an offensive, especially due to the fact that you can rush this out turn over turn. It can really increase your order economy in a late game war. So definitely something we want to be taking into consideration. On top of that, whenever you see marble itself gives you, from the quarry, additional +2 civics, which I think you have a base of 8 inside of a city. So getting an extra, 25% right off the rip is pretty huge. And that's going to give us access to all the goodies that we really want to get our hands on, meaning specialists. Now, yeah, not really anywhere else to move on to. None of these other tiles are any better, so no point in wasting an order. Let's go ahead and lock in the statesman. Okay. Looks like we have a site down here, likely barbarian site. Easy expansion out this way. A lot of hills, probably going to be good for an artisan for the bonuses to iron. Also, we have a river extending this way if we want a connected city, and a nice little pearls resource for our trader seat. So definitely want to be scouting out this way first. A good trader seat very early is very powerful, especially on Carthage. As excited as we are for the marble, we first want to make sure that we're getting our hands onto some food resources. So we do need to go ahead and chop some wood. Chop, chop. I think we actually can only get one chop out here, which is unfortunate. because I still want to get here, make this, and assign myself as the governor. Now, ideally, it'd be great to also get a general assigned here. We also have an amazing general, but that's actually super lucky. You don't always get that. So the amazing general will simply have to wait for next turn. So hopefully they can simply handle the additions. Also, due to the text that Carthage starts with, one of the early texts you get is aristocracy, which means you have access to the centralization law turn 1. That's a base 2 science, which is almost a 50% increase on the science you get. And when you start the game, you have 100 science, or 100 civics that we just spent on assigning a governor. We get 200 civics for every city that we settle as Carthage. And when you settle a statesman's seat, you get a 400 civics bonus on their seat foundation. Now, granted, it's only for the first city, only on the seat foundation, but starting the game turn 1 with 700 civics, that means we get a law, get a governor, and still have 200 civics in the bag. Very, very powerful way to start off as Carthage. Research-wise, what are we looking for? We have some access to some coastline here. Might not be the worst idea for us to try to showcase a little bit more of the naval aspects of this game. Also, we could be super greedy and go all in on markets. Not a strategy I typically do, but it might be fun to showcase a different kind of play style. I don't see any elephants immediately, so there's no guarantee that we will be able to get our unique unit by getting our rushing laws. So, we'll see. I think I want to play this game really focusing on econ, so the coinage is certainly interesting, but more so than coinage, I think we need to focus on the basics. Just get access to our stone immediately. We have an amazing marble tile right here, which it seems foolish not to take advantage of. We can get this here, we can get the stonecutter specialist, and then expand to all these other quarries around this area. Not to mention it'll chop all the wood that we need for additional farms. I think that's a strong start. End our year there. National exploration. Recent social developments have granted you the ability to declare exploration as a priority for all of Carthage. It has long been your personal ambition, and you must now decide whether it is best for you, or whether what is best for you is also best for Carthage and the people. Free law exploration, hard to turn down, or +2 legitimacy. Well, free law is a free law, especially how good exploration is, so we will absolutely nab that. And it's turn 2, and we already have 2 laws established. It does make getting access to our unique unit very interesting. So I think we will have to decide which of these sites we are going to make the riders, so that way we can actually get access to some good units. Yeah, go with our unique elephant units. On top of that, we can also go for some tribal units. I think that'll showcase some good Carthage stuff, and that's really what I'm trying to do here. Absolutely want to grab this ancient ruin first. And I grab access to labor force. Do we get... I mean, we have to, right? This is so dumb. Yeah, we take this. Okay, we have access to labor force. We can get slavery immediately, or after we settle our next city, which gives us another 200 civics, and then have 3 laws. Okay, so we have to go for a 4 law rush. Okay, normally the game doesn't go this well, but that's why you turn ancient ruins off, by the way, in multiplayer. Alright, so the cheapest one that we can get our hands on is navigation, it looks like. Yeah, no reason to go through both of these texts just to get us to rhetoric. We don't need that much growth. And both of these texts we would still need to get out here, and that is pretty good, but Constitution's better later when you already have a whole bunch of urban specialists to turn this on with. And I mean, it further incentivizes you to grab more urban specialists because it is just such a really good science engine. And I mean, tyranny doesn't suck too, especially if we're focusing on gold this game. However, order economy is simply amazing, and if we do want to go like an early aggression with tribes and elephants, then this is just the path that we go down. So let's go ahead and lock in this next. And this is going to be a very weird game, guys. I'm excited. I do want to explore, yeah, this way. And the reason for I'm exploring this way is because I want to be able to get down a trader seat sooner rather than later. The trader seat is just so powerful. I'm going to come here, add a general. That's going to be pretty powerful. And I guess explore this way. Yeah. But the trader seat is super powerful because it gives you so much very early on. Trader seats are going to give you access to not only a minister to be able to tutor your kids, to give you extra resources just inside of your capital in and of itself, but it gives a whole bunch of gold. I mean, it doubles the gold and culture that you're getting outside of the pearls. Yeah, pearls. And on top of that, oh, hello. It also gives you the fair, which is going to multiply the gold that you're getting from these pearls and from the special that you put on top of it. It really just gets the game going as far as your gold income is concerned, and no one can abuse gold better than Carthage. 8 turns until stone cutting, so let's go ahead and, speaking of gold, get gold online. Double chop, build the camp, and keep on slinging. Easy turn. All right. Take them down immediately. And let's see if we can beeline it. Oh, we can get here right away. We're going to do that. Grab the trader's seat. Oh, fantastic. And we get access to more pearls on the other side. That is huge. Okay. Okay. What an amazing city. Okay. Now where to put the fair? I wish I could put the fair here and extend the borders out a little bit. But I guess I can instead... Where's going to be the most aesthetically pleasing? I guess just out this way. Yeah, whatever. Okay, we'll wipe out this guy, swing around down here, drop a 4th city. But here are the Scythians. Very cool. Definitely want to make a good impression on the Scythians. Gold income. Use a little bit more. Still not enough to get our next settlers. So the only other things I really want to focus on in here is maybe get more workers, get our economy game going until such time as we're able to get another settler out. But we have 4 quick settles to get to right away. New city, new worker. Oh, and because we settled another city as Carthage, we get another 200 civics, so we can grab yet another law to really increase our economy right from the get-go. And yes, we are going slavery. Don't get me wrong, there is a huge argument for freedom. And actually, we should consider it. Yeah. So here's the argument for freedom. Freedom, especially here in the early game, is really strong. And if you guys are looking for additional points of wisdom, check out Especially Scientific. I picked up this particular tip from him. But the argument to go for freedom is the 20% growth or 20% growth production that you get inside of your cities will reduce the time it takes for both of these to come out. This was 6 years, this was 5 years, so we get them out both 1 year faster. That can then be applied to all additional settlers that you have coming out, which we know we want at least 2 more. And trust me, as Carthage, you're going to expand quite a bit. So growth is actually going to be super important here to get your economy off really fast. And then after we expand, because we're playing Carthage and we're going to have such a glut of additional civics, we can then just change the law later, once we've already gone wide, to slavery to get all the iron and stone from all the cities we've founded. So definitely something interesting to keep in mind. 2 orders left. Let's go ahead and keep exploring. Having a hard time choosing where to explore. I think I'm going to come up around this volcano, see what's going on with these Scythians. They might be a good target for us to do our alliance with. But we have this nice little tucked away corner, so I think this is going to probably be the edge of our borders here. And we'll have to see what's going on here and up here in the north before we decide on who to try to get our alliance with. Scared to take any risks or even make mistakes. The oligarch is timid. All right, marrying for love. I don't hate that. You're a judge, you're in love with me, your stats are not atrocious, but I do not want to take a hit on courage. If we do end up using our gold to buy a whole bunch of mercenaries, the only way you can improve mercenaries is by upgrading them via training. And it's pretty steep. It's 100 for the first upgrade. It's 200 for every subsequent upgrade. And don't be wrong, you can get, without any techs, you can get a 6-level strength unit, which is very powerful, but taking away a good chunk of our training is not great. We also lose a lot of legitimacy. That's actually pretty brutal. Or the oligarch stops being in love with me. The legitimacy hit is pretty brutal. That is a big legitimacy hit. But it's 30 gold a turn, which is pretty strong. It's a 30% increase in our current income. Extra civics certainly doesn't hurt. Not that we necessarily need them. Again, the training is not great, and the legitimacy hit is not great. But it's increasing our opinion with the statesman even further, so it kind of seems all pretty good. The downside here is that in love gives 120 bonus, which means if we lose that, we go down to 60 here, and then we get disappointed, which is a further minus 80, which means it goes down to negative 20. So we can either have really nice relations, lose legitimacy, and lose a little bit of training, or we can plummet our our relationship with the statesman by rejecting her love. So yeah, let's go ahead and marry for love. The legacy of the king. How do you want to be remembered? The many years of your life make themselves felt in your every movement, but you are not yet too old for action. Knowing that the end is likely close brings a certain clarity. The end is likely close? I just started the game. Am I sick? What? Knowing that the end is likely close brings a certain clarity and purpose. Will you use your lasting vigor to aim for a new ambition? Yes, finally. Specialists are pretty good. Certainly something I wouldn't mind dealing with. Kill 5 military units. We have 1 lined up here, 2 more in the south. Certainly not too difficult. The question is, what's going to happen faster? I mean, we have an additional 5 years here before we even start thinking about specialists. So it's 5 years to get the worker out, 3 years to build something, and then we can start a specialist, and that's just 1. So I think in the time that 8 years pass by, we'll kill 3 units, only have 2 more to kill. Yeah, that makes the most sense. Let's take the kill the units, lock it in. And speaking of killing, there we go, slinging again. Let's swing around this back area. Goody hut, don't mind if I do. Okay. Discontent always hurts. It hurts the science that comes out of your city, and especially in the capital, that really sucks. But Court Scholar is going to give us a whole bunch of science in and of themselves, potentially. Not to mention, it's not like the family is going to hurt for the next... Yeah, our wife is only 27 years old. She's in love with us, and she's the oligarch. Yeah, so we have this family on lockdown for a very long time. And I don't feel like paying off to get the just legitimacy back. So let's go ahead and grab a Court Scholar. We got 2 courtiers now. One's giving us a 91 increase in gold, you beautiful boy. And Hannibal the Intelligent Scientist is giving us 2 science, which is very strong this early in the game. Welcome, Hannibal. I like you so much. I'm even considering throwing you in here for an extra 4 science. Yeah, 4 science is simply too good to pass up. Even if it slows down my workers and my settlers, it's going to massively increase my scientific output. It's too good to pass up, not to mention when we get additional culture, which we will be getting right here through this camp. After this camp, we'll be getting our religion because we already have access to divination. So yes, culture will be increasing the city fairly rapidly, and I would certainly like to take advantage of the additional science that you will yield. Thank you, sir. Keep on scouting. Stay nice and hidden around the barbs. Very nice. Enter, you're there. Keep on slinging. Keep on scouting. Okay. Thanks to exploration, we can jump right across this water. The fame of Carthage. Oh my god, we are so lucky. This game is... Okay, full disclosure, guys. Before I started this game, I was actually playing on Archipelago, another Carthage game that I was recording to try to bring to you, but the game went too smoothly. I don't know if Carthage is just blessed for me right now, but I'm not going to restart the game again. Spearman or Chariot? Well, here's the thing. The Scythians are right here. We know the Scythians have 2 camps. And where there are 2 horse camps, there's typically more. It's rare that you only see 2 in a cluster. So it's very possible that we can eliminate this threat entirely by playing nice with the Scythians and making our alliance with them. to take that into consideration, we don't feel like fighting them too much, which means the spearman becomes less enticing. If you're not going up against cav units, then you don't necessarily need anti-cav damage, so the polearm becomes a little bit less useful. However, chariots never go out of style. Yeah, a routing unit is never something you're going to be disappointed to have, especially when we have a killing ambition on the field. Next up, let's go ahead and take some time to influence them. I'd like to get them up over 100 before we start to ask for their hand in alliance. But natural history. Landmark discovered upon hearing of Aratat. That looks like Rattata Pokemon. Ararat, your court scientist, yes, is unable to rest. He comes to you one morning, blurry-eyed and excitable, fidgeting, asking for funding to travel and write down the newly discovered natural wonder. You better not be trying to explore. Will you fund the undertaking to unlock the mysteries of the world? Huge expenditure that I just spent here. Maybe I take that back. Yeah, for 30 science, I take that back. We can wait to impress these guys. Instead, I will sell a little bit of iron and definitely take the science. Oh, wow. All right, so as funny as it would be to get 4 laws out by turn 21, instead, I don't think we can pass up border boost. It's just too good right here specifically. It gets us access to more nets. I mean, that wouldn't be too hard to get our hands on, but we can just grab it here immediately. That's hard not to do. Not to mention it grabs us this ore iron up here, grabs us access to these nice little quarry sites that we can build a whole line of them. That's all very good. So yes, we're going to be going with border boost. I don't like to get this early if I can avoid it, because typically the later you get it, the more your borders get boosted because you have more cities. But it's hard to pass up. Now we can delay this at least until we get a couple more cities out. So let's go ahead and start doing navigation. And if I have the wherewithal to remember to delay this, I can wait until I have my 4 cities out, pause navigation. All the research in here will be saved, but then I can pivot over to border boost. So yeah, that's the game plan. Very cool. Got a military unit. Might as well move them into position. Get ready to hack this apart. We need 5 kills, so we can't be too zealous. They'll get another unit in 6. That'll bring us up to 4 kills potential. But we're going to have to find another target. Because of that, I think we want to be scouting back over this way and checking up here in the north. Or maybe even down here in the southeast. Yeah, expand all the way out into these mountains. There's potential there. We shall see. All right, first kill of 5. Let's see, what's the fastest way to get here? Back through our turf. Okay. Let's start limping our way back. Clinchy kill. New worker. Impossible to turn down grabbing this right now. Extra civics are just too fun. And let's go get killing. Where's that dude? Here you are. Not going to buy the extra order, but we definitely want to be far enough away so we can't get peppered here, even if it's only 1 extra damage. No reason to give them any openings. Oh, they're on a hill. All right. Himilko. I like that. Hishmat. I like that more. All right, welcome, Hishmat. Our new son. Ooh, money or training? Money or training? Kind of tough. I'm going to say cash money for right now. Typically just better overall in the early game. How are we looking on getting that settler? We can. Very nice. And let's see, where do we want to build our actual... Okay, so we want to build our city so that we're expanding out onto these hills, which expands us out here, which then gets us onto this flatland, which is easier to build upon. Especially if later we want to build baths, we can build it around this lake. So that gives us some access over there, as opposed to just building up into these hills, which because the ore is over here, we're already going to allocate between this ore and this quarry. This is going to be rural improvements. So if we are going for a rural improvement first, let's start edging our way out towards the iron. Adjacency built between mines gives you just that little bit of extra nudge. which is always good to get your hands on. Swift kill right here. Swing around. End our year. Hurricane in Neapolis. Oh no. Yeah, we don't need the civics. We already have 3 laws passed at turn 10. I am fine with that. I will take the extra science. Let's come here, heal. Get that kill. 2 out of 5. Not bad. But we need to find another target. And considering that both of our units are going to be right here, I want to find out what else is in this fog of war. Yeah. All right, call him proud. Ooh, all good options. A whole bunch of stone that we don't have is very good. We do want to get... Actually, I should have built our shrine. Yeah. So the extra citizen and the stone would actually be very good to get our science game up further. It'll get us our shrine, which will then in turn get us our acolyte. Very powerful. We can also go for a scholar, which, as we saw through our first scholarly pickup, was a wonderful investment. Great hat, Hannibal. Or propaganda, which is never bad, especially this early. But I'm going to grab the stone. We really ought to keep developing up Carthago, and getting access to building both of our shrines seems very important. I'll take the extra XP. Hurricane is over. Let's go ahead and start working on these nets. First priority, always inside of a trader city, get the nets online. Next, I would love to get another settler here, and we almost can, so I think I will. So let's grab a second settler here and get our 2 cities down, so that way we can grab border boost sooner rather than later and expand. Both these guys are in striking distance for when this unit gets spawned next turn, so I'm just going to spend this turn and these 4 orders scouting. The Assyrians. Not who you want as a neighbor, but, you know, is what it is. Holds a favor from me, and I get another court minister. Don't mind if I do. You're losing me cash, big guy. Don't love that, but I'll take everything else you got. If there be Assyrians, then that's that. That's all the expansion that we're going to get. So these 2 spots we're going to have to claim much sooner rather than later. And we're going to have to explore to the north, and hopefully we can find a target for our additional kills out there. We cannot wait for this to spawn yet another unit. The Assyrians will come out and contest this. A little bit scary, quite frankly. Don't love that. Oh, and the Greeks. My wife is dead. Oh no. You were in love with me. You were giving me so much. That is a horrible turn of events. Okay. My wife is... Oh, and they died giving birth to my daughter. That's an absolute tragedy. Oh, and the scientist is now the head of the family. Friendly to cautious, sure. But, you know, we're tight, right? Kinda? Not really? Okay. Hostile neighbors. Don't love that, but we are charming. So we can just make a trade deal. Lose even more food, but get a whole bunch of gold, plus 2 legitimacy. Definitely a good option. Refuse to pay tribute, just kind of piss them off for XP. Lose stuff, lose stuff, lose stuff. Yep, let's take advantage of being a diplomat and take advantage of being charming. We're going to swing down here, hit 1, come through, hit in, route through. Can't quite get there. Not able to kill next turn if we don't, so I'm going to buy an order to hit. And hopefully we don't have some Assyrians bum rushing in to just grab this immediately. That would really suck. Joy and pain. I become mourning, but I become loyal? Or I need to marry again for the good of the nation? No, pass. I actually think I'm going to try to marry a Scythian. Yeah, marry a Scythian, see if we can get some Scythian kids. Because that way, if we adopt Scythian units, upgrade them inside of our borders, we would be able to assign our Scythian children, our 3rd and 4th born that'll never be king. We can train them in tactics school, make them good generals. Yeah, that sounds good. So I want to control my own marrying situation, and I'll just become loyal instead, which, oh no, gives me a whole bunch of XP and a huge amount of gold. I'll miss you, wife. But this is a pretty good outcome. Alright, so we could wait 1 more turn and get that last unit out. Now this will develop into an outpost. Now let's just kill. I don't want the Assyrian showing up and stealing my candy. Yeah, hard pass. Grab the spot. And in fact, let's go up here to make sure we're saving this spot. Because sometimes, because the AI gets a little bit more aggressive with stealing spots from you these days. All right, we got a new dude. He's either deceitful and swift, or he's a heckler and bitter. Those are a general, right? You're still a unit, dude. But I'd rather you be bitter. Yeah, I'd rather you just be bitter. Because deceitful sounds sketchy. We need to work on food. We can supplement our growth with our gold income, but there's a lot of other uses for our gold. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of other good food tiles. However, we can come here and build at least 1, 2 good farms, so that's not bad. Okay, again, we're going to prioritize coming up on this hill, making sure we're keeping on that spot so we don't get it stolen. We're going to grab our farm, and we are going to start moving into a spot that we can actually make a good shrine. I do plan on making a whole bunch more settlers out of Carthage when we hopefully are able to expand further north, or when we're able to expand over these Scythians, and we will end our year there. Oh, and what luck. Didn't even have to spend anything on it. Okay, we get access to a new wife, and Zarina. Sounds wonderful. She's going to give us all the stuff I want. More gold, more training. Don't hate that. Yeah, more gold, more training. Welcome to the family. Equestrian isn't useful. I mean, mounted units are fine, and we're going to have access to our elephants pretty soon. So it's certainly very good, but I think I'd rather just lean into the core competencies of our build and keep going for gold. Take full advantage of a massive income that Carthage can do better than anyone else. Speaking of income, more income please. And we will simply take a upgrade here. A lot of hills in the defense of this nation against Assyria, so we'll go ahead and grab Highlander. And let's see, do we have any good candidates for ambassador? I would like an ambassador. An extra 30 opinion to keep Assyria off my back sounds like a great use of our orders, so we will do that. Hano the Settler is quite ill. Okay, okay. We're quite ill. We need to take advantage of his abilities while we can. The Tribal Alliance costs 200 training. Scary. We might not... It'd be actually pretty unfortunate if we weren't able to get his special ability off. There might be a whole nother reason for a reroll. Let's stick to our plan. We're going to go for border boost. So let's lock in border boost. We'll have our cities up in 4 years. Hopefully they'll be able to run around this way in 4 years. I'm going to drop the first rider seat up here. And maybe even a second rider seat here. I guess there's not really a point to make a second rider seat because we won't have access to the additional elephants. Yeah, so I guess this one first. It's more defendable. If we only have access to one rider seat, having this one that's easily able to reach out to these horses seems like a good idea. Because that way, you know, you can make a second horse's seat. And I guess we'll give this to, I don't even know who. Statesman? Maybe just riders again? Kind of gross. Kind of gross. We're trying to figure out a food situation, and I feel like grabbing a farmer here before the border boost comes through will actually help us grab additional tiles. Maybe even help us snag this pretty early. Although this will go over to the Riders family. Interesting, interesting. Hard to figure out what the best play there is. Chill, chill, chill. We'll take the extra gold. Gold certainly isn't our problem. Please don't die, friend. All right. Oh, thank God. No longer ill. Okay. Sharing the loot. We don't have slavery, so we don't get a free worker. Womp womp. But 400 gold doesn't sound bad at all. 60 science sounds even better. But actually, no, 60 science is a trap here. Yeah, 60 science. Like, normally, I always grab science, right? But if I want border boost to come after I've spread these cities down, then I have to wait until it's done. So grabbing this would actually complete this. And I can't even defer it more. I guess I could defer the science onto, like, phalanx or something, which is kind of interesting. Or even mill drill. Actually, mill drill's pretty cool. Yeah, okay. This is a weird move, but I'm going to select mill drill. I'm going to grab the 60 science, bring that down to 4 years, and I'm going to switch back to border boost so I can still get the benefits from it. This is very odd. This is very unusual. Okay. Let's go here. Grab more access to more of this. Again, we are going to go with the riders. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 mineable resources is fantastic. It looks like Border Boost is going to grab us both of them anyways. And that means if we get specialists on all of those, that's going to be a whole bunch of extra training. So this city is actually very good for the riders. Very happy with our choice here. Have to go with a worker, but immediately after that, I think we're going to try to get the elephants down. So that way we can very quickly switch over to getting serfdom again and try to get out our units. But wow, we need a lot of stuff, man. We need to get our garrison down. We need to get our stronghold down. Getting barracks after that would actually be really good. Are we going to early invade them with Scythians and these? Oh, this game could be so much fun. All right, I'm excited. Over in Neapolis, a caravan sounds pretty bad here. It sounds bad here because it's going to take 7 damn turns. But I think I like a caravan here because we do want to keep Assyria, again, off our back while we have an amazing chance to gear up. So, yeah, that's going to have to be what we do. Definitely not the way I like to play if I can avoid it. It's a little bit too... It's slowing down the city a little bit too much. I would love to instead start working on maybe our Elder Shopkeeper, but I think we can wait for our Elder Shopkeeper after we hit developing culture level, so we can actually rush that out. Yeah, that seems fine. And we do need another target. We don't want to expand this way, but I do want to send this scout up here into the north. All right, and it should be, what, another 3 turns until we can ask for that alliance? Okay, keep running down this way. We will have it down in 2 years, so we're fine in that regard. 2 lazy workers. Our food economy is still in shambles. Let's focus on you to get this. Chop, build. And that's all you can do, huh? Has to be fine. End our year. All right, Greek Lighthouse, Carthago, all is good. Very cool. Superstitious. Aw, causing me science. Damn Scythian wife. Okay. So, what do we want to do with Carthage? Well, again, Carthage has very unique opportunities to utilize gold, so, weirdly, I'm actually going to lean right into that and go full on commerce studies. We are going to tutor them with our person that's going to give them the highest chance to grant additional discipline. Let's see what that is. It is, yeah, a 33% chance to give additional discipline, so we love that. Yeah, going to turn you into an absolute money-pinching king. Let's go for you. So what's the most defensible tile? This is the city that will be under siege when Assyria comes to strike, which means we're chopping all of this forest to give them no cover, slinging, hopefully from a hill, and we want a hill that is next to the river for additional defense. So that says this tile. This tile has 2 tiles that are blocked off by river, so it's actually better defensively, but we have more range with our Highlander's Slinger from back here who can sit safely inside the city. So that is what I am thinking. Now, who to put on the front lines? All of our families have pretty thin margins on who likes us. The Statesman will give me an extra order and lowers specialist cost. Traders don't really provide much here. There's no nets. We don't have any specialists in them. Opinion bonus from distant cities, so that's interesting. I guess we're going to do double riders. You know, if we need somebody on the front lines, having a city that's able to build units faster, and it's already going to be immediately connected, actually provides a lot early and into the mid-game, so the riders it is. So, 1 more turn until we have access to get a alliance. But the question is, do we want to purchase any units? They are already pretty pleased with us. But I feel like after we have an alliance, they'll be potentially over 200, which will make them even cheaper. That's something to keep in mind. Whether you are an orator leader or playing as Carthage, the amount that it takes to buy mercenaries is reduced by the total opinion that you have with the nation. So the higher this number is by threshold, once we get it over 200, it'll be even better. But the question is, are we going to last long enough? Yada, yada. we don't even really have enough training to get them up to a decent level. We might have to be relying more so on just having them in an alliance and hopefully leading them slowly over towards Assyria to maybe do some damage or harass. We'll see. But we need to focus on finishing our ambition. That's one thing that you always need to focus a little bit more on. And there it is. We will take the training. Thank you very much. We will immediately launch the mission to get a tribal alliance, which normally cost 400, but in this case will only cost 2. Either way, I could wait till next turn. I could spend 100 just to get this out this turn, but I'm certainly not going to do that. That is a waste of resources. I'll simply grab a heal here. We'll end the year, and as planned, we will get the alliance next turn. What the hell are you doing over here, Alexander? This is a weird place for you to be, buddy. All right, border boost hit. So did an earthquake. Yikes. Okay, Carthage is now at war with the Scythians. Oh, Scythians. Why? Oh, horrendous. This is the worst. This is the worst. We do not want to be at war with the Scythians. Look how much they just increased. I should have bought them off us last turn. Well, you know, that's just this game, guys. You win some, you lose some. Okay. All right, so we got Scythians up to our north. That's a problem. We have Gauls out here. And we're at war now with the Scythians, so I guess we're going to play nice with the Gauls? Oh, ugly. Okay. So, gross. Oh, okay. We get a free warrior. That's certainly not bad, but it's going to take out our training, so we don't want to spend that. Extra training per turn certainly isn't bad. And I could throw myself on as a military leader on some of these Scythians and try to ride out against them. That's not the worst. Kind of kills 2 birds with 1 stone, actually. We're going to make lemonade out of these lemons. We're going to grab the new ambition. We're going to grab the additional training per turn. We are going to spend our glut of bankroll to buy some of these units away from them. We're going to assign our leader as the governor next turn. And we are going to use our leader to immediately get a tribal alliance with the Gauls and use the Gauls to fight the Scythians here in the north. Well, you know, I wanted to show off a little bit of gameplay. The idea is typically to make really nice with one tribe and buy their units on the discount. But, you know, we are going to figure it out. Yeah, not to mention buying some units right now is actually a good idea just to get ourselves out of the position where we are much weaker than Greece. Greece is where, by the way? All the way over here? What are you guys doing? Okay, well, we're at war. Let's go ahead and heal up our military units first and foremost. Everyone kind of needs to heal. You can fix this first and heal next turn. 3 orders left. We, again, will let the Gauls handle the situation with the Scythians, hopefully. I mean, they're on good terms. They got melee to fight in here against ranged cav. So it's typically something that works out in our favor. And I need to see more of what's going on over here. I don't know why the Greeks are coming this far into our turf. That's actually kind of concerning. But in other good news, our borders expanded. Look at this awesome mobility from the connected little lake right here. We're able to cruise right over back and forth to bring our units back. Fantastic. We are able to get access to all these additional lovely resources. This food online inside the capital is going to be a great way to get its growth back online. We have access to all of these gems. Very good. Unfortunately, this mountain range is still a little bit out of our reach, which is a little bit shoddy. That's nothing one settler can't fix. Let's go ahead and grab this stone cutter, get a little bit of science, a little bit of extra civics, and all of this mountain range. Okay. All right. Now what? Okay. Hamlets are always good on Carthage. They're a really good way to expand your borders and getting extra gold, and, you know, definitely plays out well in the long run. If we are going for our unique unit, getting extra culture is going to be a must. So certainly not a bad detour. So I think we should definitely be worrying about getting our Odeons out, so that way we are able to generate this city's culture up to strong as soon as possible, and then start leaning into whatever we can do to get 7 laws up, which is this tree here. We're through in mill drill over here because getting those barracks down simply is lovely. And I think we kind of have like our mid game figured out here, guys. Very nice. Okay. All right, who do we got? We got you that we're still tutoring. Good, we're taking care of the kids. Love that. He becomes corrupt. That doesn't make money. That loses money. He becomes righteous. Yeah, it's okay. You don't have to be charismatic. You just have to be good with coin, brother. Superstitious is terrible. Hard pass. Ambassador becomes disappointed, but I get extra science. Yeah, this ruins our opinion with both the king that we want to keep nice with and the oligarch that we want to keep especially nice with. Yeah, hard pass on this one. So not superstitious. Even if the patriarch becomes endeared to me, the religion hasn't even spread far and wide. Speaking of which, we need to focus on getting our religion spread. Although maybe a little bit slower now because he's pissed off at me. All right, let us not forget who we are. We do not fear the tribes. We are simply going to purchase them away. It's burning all our gold, which feels bad. But I don't particularly care. Gonna buy the good ones that we can. And that is all the tribal units I'm going to purchase. But now our military score has massively shot up. In fact, Assyria is no longer much stronger than us. They are just stronger. And all of these units have a massive ability to be able to increase their stats. Now what to do with these guys? You only have 3 damage. You only have 3 damage. I'm going to move this horse in. I'm going to assign myself as the general. See if we can maybe get some routes going off. In return, you're still doing 7 damage to me. You're pretty beefy yourself. So we definitely want to move in all of our troops and see if we can wipe these 2 camps. So more expansion is definitely in our future. We're going to buy one up here just so we can help, save these units. And in the meantime, we are going to swing over this way, or at least over one, grab a heal, and then try to get more nets online. Probably these first. Okay. Well, we got the coin to buy them, so let's go ahead and buy them. Welcome to the party, Gauls. We're now a piece of the Gauls. Tribal Alliance. Fantastic. Go kill them. Please go kill them. Air education. We have exploration, so I will send you out exploring. And the bullying air. The Duchess becomes estranged, but we can simply keep her exploring indefinitely. Yeah, this is always a risk because sometimes when you let the heir bully the next kid, they come back and they kill him. I don't really have the time to be stressed, or the coin. So yeah, I'm going to go against my better judgment and let you bully your sister. Keep tutoring you. We don't want to lose these horses. They were expensive. So we do have to retreat you to heal. And let's see if we can get a kill here. That's 7 damage. You do 8. Oh, you do 8? Yeah, grab 8 damage. Pick up a kill. Fantastic. Alright, so we finished the kill 5 military units. Looks like we're going to be killing a whole bunch more. So let's go ahead and keep on killing. 10 military units is totally doable. Again, let's not use our horses. They were expensive. And let's keep chipping you down. Alright, learn from this Mago. He becomes humble. Alright, learn from this Mago. He becomes humble. That's pretty good. Or I gain a warrior. That's even better, but it's pretty expensive in both counts. So, yes. Exotic influence. In an act of supplication, the surviving Thracian nobles offer you a wealth of jewelry, fineries, and icons representing their culture. As conqueror, you are expected to wear this as a traditional raiment. Our generals grumble behind your back, but there is wisdom in appealing to the newly vanquished. Regalia of the Conqueror helps my opinion and will keep the Gauls happier for longer. We get a whole bunch of gold and we piss off the Scythians. Well, we are murdering them all, so that's fine. Or we get legitimacy. So the question is gold or legitimacy, and we're playing Carthage, so you know what I'm picking. Oh no, you're trapped. Oh no, you're trapped. Oh no, I have to send help. Okay. It's a slugfest. It's a slugfest. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. I'm not going to buy an extra order. But you are going to take another 6 damage next turn. Okay. We're in danger. We're in danger. I'm not scared. You're scared. We're waiting on 1 more year for a citizen. I'm going to grab a decree for 2 years. Grab myself an extra 3 orders. Yeah, extra 3 orders. That'll certainly help with this expansion. Take it from there. There's a lot I need to be doing. Oh my lord. End the year there. Alright, they let me go. Thank God. A flirtation. What is your deal? What is your deal, Alexander? You absolute Chad. He's just coming in and hitting on my wife. Oh my God. Okay, so admonish him. I become strict, not particularly useful. I become debauched, enjoy the sultry display. The queen likes it. Is that useful to me? You kind of just don't like me. Alexander becomes upset, but I make more cash money. Show no reaction whatsoever. I am not covert. Unless I am. Oh, finally get that explorer. Fantastic. Hybris. What is this, the crazy guy? Where she heard rumors of a scholar with a vast collection of oracular readings. And prophecies. So he's an oracle. Okay, so is this the crazy guy? Yeah, insane or blessed. We get a new scholar who is a warlike diplomat. You don't say. Because that sounds like it'd be absolutely amazing to put inside of my city that is supposed to be getting up higher culture and pumping out elephants. Okay, you might be insane, but you might be blessed. I'll roll those dice. Come back and heal. So it turns out we don't really need the Gauls, but it gives us an opportunity to also expand out here by buying their land away from them. So we will still hold on to them, but we seem to be holding our own just fine. I'm going to swing up here. Well, not quite that far. If I can't reach them, I'd rather come here and heal. So let's go ahead and grab... Let's grab Strike. Being able to plow through a whole bunch of units seems like the appropriate response here. And you are going to come in and heal. And heal. The biggest working projects I can't delay any further are getting additional culture down where we can inside of Lilybaeum and getting the growth inside of this city. We want to get both of these nets online. Coming back to the flirtation, I'm not really in love with any of these. So, yeah, because I don't want to deal with Alexander, who's just sitting his 5-strength warrior right here. Just being all beefy. Doesn't seem fun. He's got some pretty annoying troops right here. So if he starts a war, he's in a position to be really annoying. I mean, we can wipe him pretty handedly, but I don't necessarily want to deal. Strict is just not useful. Debauched is pretty gross. These are all bad. So I'm just going to kick Alexander in the shins. Screw you. Don't flirt with my wife. All right, who's the weakest here? This guy. So we're going to roam one out. We're going to move in here. And that's going to be our turn. We have to kill 10 military units in total. We have to kill 5 with our leader. There's 3 here to kill with our leader. So that seems like a good start. End our year. Oh, insane. Okay. Makes you actually a little bit better in terms of military production inside the city. And we don't need that city to be a science hub or a gold hub. So it's kind of good. I don't know if there's any negatives to having an insane governor. So we're not going to put you anywhere yet. But I'll keep you around. Gain a militia, gain 6 orders, gain a citizen, and gains repair damage. No, we will absolutely take the orders. We have too much to do. We become a music lover or get bitter and heckler. I'll become a music lover. All right. A memory for the gods. The tutors of Hishmet have heard a writer who uses advanced system of poetic meters to make the history of Carthage easy to memorize. Okay, becomes intelligent, a poet, or impious. Impious isn't too much of a detour, although you're starting to get pretty negative charisma. Not that we need the civics. Educated would be great, but we don't have access, or just straight XP. Intelligent and poet are too good of high rolls for me to worry this much about an impious low roll. So I'm going to take the risk. Well, they came right on in. So if they're looking to die, I will oblige them. That's one kill here. Fantastic. You have to immediately go out to the Assyrians. Make nice. I'm actually going to send this worker this way, because we really need to start working on getting all of these gem mines up. The garrison, the stronghold especially need to get down. We can build those right here just to defend the city even more if Assyria comes in. If Greece comes in, it looks like this will be a very contested forest. All very interesting. And we really need to know what to build. I mean, specialist is actually really what I want. You're officially developing. The city is damaged, so I can actually rush you next turn. Yeah, next turn you'll heal naturally. And in here, I would like other specialists. So an acolyte is excellent. Do we actually get anything from furs? We do. We get the riders deeper in our pocket if we go furs, so I will do the trapper instead. Gives me a little bit less science, but it gives me a lot more gold, equals amounts of culture, and the fur is something I can trade away if need be. Back to our workers. Let's go ahead and keep working on getting our economy online. I like getting my mines finally down. I would like to come out and actually get these quarries down. And we might as well grab some heals on these units already in our borders. And let's keep poking further. We are looking for additional kills. Oh, elephants. Another rider's family seat here. Fantastic. And here. I guess an extra slinger wouldn't hurt. Or actually, we just gave away your workers, so you can go ahead and build another worker. Because this worker is never coming back to the city. And the city could use some love as well. And end our year. Alright, the Kush is construction of the pyramids. Tutor mission has led to an event. And the Patriarch is ill. Yes, high roll. The Prince is intelligent. Fantastic. Alright, you are a bully, but you are a righteous and intelligent. God, you sound insufferable. I would have hated you as a kid. Okay, so what do you want out of this kid? We have two options now. Because gold sounds good, but we kind of just did a huge gold purchase. We could also lead into strength. Now, he's never going to be a good, as a commerce student, he only has the ability to come out a commander at best, which actually doesn't suck here. No, I mean, still, schemer, orator, builder, diplomat, all would be better. Diplomat would be actually really good. Getting alliance with Assyria would be fantastic. Or really with Greece, and then getting in a war with Assyria would be fantastic. Yeah, so we do still have additional needs for gold. We do want to buy away both this site and this site from the Gauls and expand up to the north. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more cities. So econ is certainly going to be important. Upgrading our units is also very good. We do now have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units that we can get up to level 6 very shortly. The game is still very early enough where that is still super useful. What a very annoying raid from a Thracian camp. Bizarre. Where the hell even are the Thracians? I mean, my rider here can get there the fastest, but I really don't want to spend all that time and energy riding you all the way here just to fight this one unit. It's going to take you 2 turns to kill. Yeah, I'd rather take the time to run you all the way over. I mean, you would take forever to kill it, but at least, you know, it'll be a fight. We have 2 turns until we need to get this out. So we have 2 turns to waste. I'll waste them on a slinger. It's really gold or training for me. But I think I'm going to lean in towards gold. It has been the theme of the game. You might as well stick to it. Let's not forget to spend our gold by continuing to train you. Not with the insane person. That is crazy, pun intended. Let's also swing around here. Get this other mine up and going. Let us not forget that now that the city is fully healed, we can spend 300 of our civics to get the shopkeeper out immediately. That it means in 4 turns, or in 1 turn, we get an additional 4 growth and for science, and a whole bunch of gold. So a huge, nice little uptick for us here. I think it's probably the best for us to start poking where we can. Chipping away at this site. We do want to take it down eventually. Well, actually, let's take that back. So we kind of got thrown through a loop here, guys. There's still a lot to do. We are definitely in the tribal stage of the game right now. We took the fight to the Scythians very handedly. We bought away their people, and instead of turning them back on themselves, we have solidified our relationship with the Gauls to the north, so we don't have to expect any raids from that direction. However, that does not defend us from this one mountain pass and apparently some Thracians. And where there is one raider, there are more. He is raiding Greece, however, so it is likely that he will be just moseying his way through our turf, so perhaps we don't have to worry about him too much. But I think that's where we're going to leave it there. I'm going to keep pursuing, up into these woods, try to get my hands on these units, get some more kills, work on our ambitions. But in the meantime, a lot to discover. I got to go down for dinner, guys. The wife is calling me away, but I'm super stoked to be back in the chair, and I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, happy conquering.